This is me doing a wrestling video for all the fans and all the non-fans and whoever gives a damn. We're going to talk about world titles recognition from Pro Wrestling Illustrated. Back when I started watching wrestling back in the 70s, the NWA, AWA, and the WWF, or the WWF, there was only 3 recognized world championships and tag team champions from all 3 of those major wrestling federations. You know, those 3 places. So I watched lots of matches back in them days. And back then, there was maybe 20 current and former world champions that were still wrestling during that time periods. You know, we're talking about like Superstar Graham, Ivan Koloff, Bruno Sammartino, Harley Race, Terry Funk, Vern Gagne, the Bruiser. I mean, all those guys were all former world champions in their respective wrestling companies. But pretty much in the 80s and 90s, they started, with WCW. They gave them world title status for a while. ECW, world title status for a while. And they did not give the Triple Crown or whatever over in Japan world title status until recently. And as of August 8, 2021, Pro Wrestling Illustrated recognizes the WWE Championship, the WWE Universal Championship, the AEW World Championship, Impact World Championship, ROH World Championship, the MLW, the NWA, the AAA, the Mega Championships, and CMLL World Heavyweight Champions. Okay, now those are what? What do we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 different wrestling places that are world championship status. Now, August 9th, 2021, they recognize 2 more world title status. Okay? These guys, I'm going to get a little closer. Prior to the additions, there are a total of 12 recognized world championships by Pro Wrestling Illustrated standards. I did mention all the other ones, all the way up to MLW and CLL. So now the Triple Crown Championship has now been recognized. The IWGP has now been recognized. And now that, of course, at that time, Kenny Omega held all 3 of them. But now, in recognition of the growing influence of independent wrestling and its resemblance to the territory systems of yesteryear, Pro Wrestling Illustrated has designated 2 new official world championships. The IWTV Independent Wrestling title and the Pan-African World Diaspora title. Going forward, the IWTV and the PAWD titles will be referred to as World Championships within the pages of Pro Wrestling Illustrated, and its title holders viewed as world champions for purpose of weekly, monthly, and annual rankings. As of right now, Wheeler, Utah, formerly known as Silverhawk over in Chikara, a place that Jim Cornette cannot stand, is the current world champion over IWTV Wrestling World Championship, who holds it. And Trish Adora with the Pan-African World Diaspora Championship. Notably, this makes Trish Adora the only female world championship recognized by Pro Wrestling Illustrated. She now joins Tessa Blanchard from her time as Impact World Champion and Chris Statlander from her time as IWTV World Champion, as the only recognized female world champions ever by Pro Wrestling Illustrated. Okay, Jim Cornette. Jimmy, I know how you hate Pockets. You hate him. Orange Cassidy. You call him a goof, a dork, an idiot. This guy is a former two-time world heavyweight champion. He captured the title twice from IWTV Wrestling World Championship. So he caught it from that. He captured the two titles from that place. And also, you'd like to know that Tracy Williams over in ROH, who just recently had a run as ROH World Tag Team Champion and the TV Champion, is also a former IWTV World Champion. And he was known as Green Ant / Silver Ant over in Chikara, who was tag team partners with Orange Cassidy, who formerly was known as Fire Ant in Chikara. The place that you cannot stand. The place that you hate. The people you hate. Too bad. These guys are now former world champions. And you can't get mad at them. You better get mad at Pro Wrestling Illustrated. So, is the titles just merely props? I say yes. Title belts are merely props to further the goals of storylines in all of wrestling now. As of right now, there's probably more than 200 to 250 to 300 former world champions and current world champions in the world. A far cry from the AWA, the NWA, and the WWF. This is Jeff the Pharaoh signing off at 7 minutes. Is AEW world title a prop? Huh?